Hey tree huggers, Twin Trees here. Today we're going to fix a power folding mirror on a Gen 1 Toyota Sequoia. These mirrors have a plastic gear that will eventually get brittle and break. This results in the motor constantly running and may cause the mirror to be loose. Unfortunately, unplugging one of the mirror cables causes both mirrors to completely stop working, even the power tilt functions. We're going to show you how to replace this broken gear. There's a link in the description showing where you can purchase the replacement. Plus, we're going to show you where you can unplug the motor without disabling all your other working motor functions or hacking your cable harness if you don't want to replace the gear right away. Let's get started. Here's all the tools we used to complete this repair. Note, you're going to need a 10mm deep socket and a Torx 25. First, remove the corner panel by just pulling it off. There are no clips or screws. Next, unplug the mirror cable. Ours was already unplugged to stop the motor from running constantly while we waited for the new gear to arrive. Then, using a 10mm deep socket, remove the 3 nuts holding the mirror to the door. You may need a friend to hold the mirror so you don't drop the nuts down the door panel. You might even want to put some painter's tape over the hole. We suggest removing the electrical tape from the wire harness. This will allow the rubber boot to slide all the way to the connector. Trust us, you'll need every bit of slack you can get in this cable. Once the boot is out of the way, remove the plastic cable routing clip. Next, using a Torx 25 driver, remove the 3 screws on the bottom of the mirror arm. Ours had thread lock on them, so unfortunately the head twisted off of one. Now we're going to remove the mirror from the mirror assembly. This seems scary, but it's not really that bad. Just pry up on the bottom of the mirror with your fingers or a plastic pry tool. It is held on with clips and what seems like very sticky heat compound. Just use firm, steady pressure from the bottom of the mirror and it will pop loose. The mirror has a thick plastic backing, so it's not likely to break. Once the mirror is off, disconnect the heating element connector and set the mirror aside. Next, remove the 4 screws holding the mirror assembly to the mirror shell. Separate the 2 halves of the mirror arm and remove the cable harness from the clip on the bottom of the arm. Remove the screw on the bottom of the arm that holds the arm end cover. Now remove the arm end cover and the screw that is under that cover. The mirror assembly should now slide free of the mirror shell. At this point, you might want to clean the assembly so dirt doesn't get inside the gearbox. The next step is extremely important. You must unplug the blue and green wires from the motor cover. It does not look like a plug, but it is. If you don't, you will damage the circuit board inside. Sometimes they just pull out. In this case, we had to work to get the grommet out and then pull the connector out with needle nose pliers. If you are not going to replace the gear, you can leave this unplugged and reassemble the mirror. The rest of your mirror function should still work with the motor unplugged. If you're not going to replace the gear, you might want to tape over the hole with electrical tape. Now, unclip the wires from the back of the mirror assembly to provide slack. Next, you need to remove the motor cover. It is held on with 4 clips that are very brittle, so be careful. This is the most challenging part of the repair. One of ours, from an 06, came off fairly easy. This one, from an 07, was glued on. A heat gun may help, but we eventually got it off by just pulling. Once the motor cover is out of the way, remove the circuit board by pushing away from the motor and set it aside. Remove the 3 screws holding the gearbox cover and slide it out of the way. You are looking for a light green gear. This is the gear that is broken. Before removing it, take note of the slight angle of the gear teeth. You will need to place the new gear in the same orientation. Remove the gear and its shaft. The gear may be in several pieces, so make sure you have removed all of them. Place the metal shaft on the new gear and place it back in the gearbox. You may need to remove the white vertical worm gear to get it in. When replacing the white worm gear, make sure both gears are well seated. Pushing down on the white worm gear can cause the new gear to move up and out of position. Now replace the gearbox cover. You may need to use needle nose pliers to spin the top of the motor shaft so that it keys into the white worm gear. Replace the motor circuit board by gently rocking it against the motor. The 2 motor stabs should click into place. Next, replace the motor cover and plug in the blue and green motor wires. Reclip the wires on the back of the motor assembly and place the mirror assembly back in the shell. Use 4 screws to secure the mirror assembly to the shell. Install the screw on the end of the arm, replace the arm end cover, and secure it with its screw. Place the cable harness under the clip. Now secure the other half of the mirror arm with the 3 Torx 25 screws. Route the cable through the gap in the metal mirror mount and replace the plastic clip. Slide the rubber boot back in place and tape up the wire harness. Plug in the mirror heating element wires. Then slide the top of the mirrors into the slots in the top of the mirror tilt frame. Then hinge the mirror down until the clips on the bottom of the mirror snap into place. Finally, install the mirror on the door with the 3 10mm nuts. Plug in the mirror cable and replace the corner cover. If this video was helpful, please like and subscribe. Have you made this repair? Let us know how it went. Thanks for watching.